to Europa Universalis for AI only extended timeline mod. We are in 2092 on the 1st of October. We're going to continue. We have 8 years, or just under 8 years left of the game. And stuff has been happening. If you've missed the most recent episodes, we have a almost all-encompassing African war. And the Spanish are, of course, being more imperialistic. China also is now a massive blob that hasn't bothered taking over Mongolia. And the Soviet Union has Soviet revolutionaries, quite ironically. Also, the relatively recent development, but Spain left the EU, and so did Ireland. So, yeah, always something to consider there. Anyway, let's continue. So we have this massive war that has, I think, 10 participants. It would be 11 participants, in fact. So quite a few. And if we hop onto the DRC, we can see it's Egypt, Sudan, Chad, Somalia, Botswana, South Africa, and the Democratic Republic of Congo up against Nigeria, Zambia, and Uganda. So this is going to be quite interesting. I do believe that Nigeria is defending. Yes, they are defending. And Uganda. Yeah, I said Uganda. And they are also in a war against the Spanish, which we talked about last episode. It does not look like they're going to be able to help the Malians against the Spanish armies anytime soon. However, they've got their own territory to defend. So Zambia is likely going to fall from grace finally after many a war. They were holding their ground, but now it looks like Zambia has just been swept through, and only much of Angola is unoccupied. Anyway, it's a shame because they were going to be a major regional power by the end of the game. And because we're going right through this at a steady pace, another war has popped up. Argentinian-Peruvian nationalist war. So Argentina and Venezuela up against Peru and Mexico. Let's go have a look. So Peru is, of course, a lot bigger now. However, do not have quite the monetary benefits. Now, I do believe, yes, Argentina is the attacker. So we will see whether the Argentinians can hold their ground against this. They look pretty equal. The major deciding factor is going to be the Mexican armies and the Venezuelans. If the Venezuelans can hold the Mexicans at Panama or at the Darien Gap, they'll do fine, but I doubt that's going to happen. And of course, Peru has developed quite massively into the Amazon as well, sadly for the animals that live there. Most biodiverse region in the entire world, I think, for reptiles and amphibians and mammals. I think it's the highest concentration of all species in one area in the world because of how unexplored it is and the lack of human interference, though that is becoming a even greater problem. Now, it does look like the Argentinians will win an early battle and completely stack wipe one of the two major Peruvian armies, but of course we have 57,000 troops still to come, and they killed another 10,000 here. They can defeat them in Arica, and they get the tick. The Peruvians should be able to beat out. Yes, the Peruvians have lost their entire military. However, the Mexicans are coming down. And the Spanish do look to be moving into Togo and Nigeria, as they hope to succeed in their occupation of Mali here. Mali's rather rich. What was Gabon is now mostly occupied by the huge coalition of the DRC. Uganda surprisingly still holding out to a degree. Somalia, of course, up here with a surprising amount of wealth for the state they were in at the start of the game. And of course they did that by taking it from others, the only notable wealthy province of Somalia being Kismayo, and then Mogadishu, Bosaso and Berbera are the closest ones there. But Uganda does still control parts of what they need. I do believe they control, yes, they control all of Rwanda and all of Burundi and a bit of what was Tanzania. If we go over here, looks like there's some Congolese noble rebels that seek to upset the balance here. That's 65,000 troops worth in the two most developed Democratic Republic of Congo provinces. I'm not quite sure. I would say Congolese. Yeah, let's just use the term Congolese, as the Republic of Congo is not with us any longer. So Spanish-Malian War still going. That's a bit of a stalemate. The Nigerians are regrouping here, and hopefully they can defend Nigeria proper. But of course, this border region that they from Cameroon, you can clearly see the divide in development, including with Benin. So it does look like the DRC won the war. Ooh, they gained. So Nigeria lost. Wait, we need to. Okay, so the DRC did not give. They did give their allies some, but only in the south. So if we have a quick look here, we have the DRC taking Boa, so part of what was once Cameroon, and most of modern-day Gabon, and part of the original Congo. Rightio. So unfortunately for the Nigerians, they did lose most of their southern provinces. However, they still control Iwondo, and they still have their provinces in the north. However, whether they can fight back against the Spanish remains to be seen. And in the south, the DRC still dealing with rebels, but if we have a look, they made gains on Zambia, with Chokwe going to them, and most of Zambia proper, actually. Luangwa, Bamba, Nasanga, Lala, Lamba, and Kayonde. And they also took most of Uganda, beating out Uganda from Uganda proper. So now they're isolated to two provinces in what was Tanzania: Lango, Basoga, Buganda, Nakore, Karagwe, Nguda, Bushube, and Koma, and Bafuriru, all going to the DRC. Now if we check the south, South Africa gained Namibia's old panhandle, more regions of Zimbabwe and Tete, which was part of Nigeria proper. As we can see, this is the best scope of how much Nigeria has lost. They also lost Namibia in the Okavango Delta and Itenge. And Botswana gained, but not much. Anyway, quite surprising though. Really? And my timer has gone off. Well, not gone off per se, but turned off. Now I can't turn it back on. A bit annoying, but oh well. We're in 2094, halfway through, and let's go check out Peru. Rightio. So Arica and Arequipa has been occupied. Looks like a little bit of a battle was going on in the Bolivian provinces. If we have a look at the current war situation, of course, there are no more wars. Seems like the world is slowly turning down for the new century at 2101. Also, the way the centuries work, if you do not know, a new century or a new millennium even is not in 2000, for example. So say the new millennia is not 2000, it's actually 2001. That's because the 2000, it's the 100th year of that century or millennia. So that's the 1000th or 100th year of that millennia. So if we use 2100, that's the 100th year of the 22nd century, and then you're 1 into the 23rd century at 2101, because... Oh wait, sorry, the 21st century, what am I saying? Brain just had a frazzle there, but essentially... Ooh, looks like... Oh, no, they're Venezuelan. Wait, let me just pause. Okay, so 2100 is the 100th year of the 21st century. The new century, the 22nd, starts in 2101, because that is the first year of the 22nd century. Make sense? Okay, good. If not, I do apologize. Not too great at explaining that kind of thing, but it's just a little tidbit that a lot of people get wrong, aka everyone's celebrating the new millennia in 2000 AD instead of 2001, which is when it actually rolls over. Anyway, we have the Swazi-Ugandan Nationalist War, just in case you thought the Ugandans hadn't copped enough. And Tanzania did not get to jump on the Ugandans quite quick enough. Actually, Buyugoma was actually part of Uganda there. I'm not sure how it was annexed, became a full city, was discovered by Great Britain, owned by Germany. Buha. That was a while ago. So it was Tanzanian. Okay. Nigeria. Yeah, it was Tanzanian. Okay. So the Swazis will hopefully eliminate another nation just before the new millennia hits. Instead of going to 2100, which is a nice even number, we're going to go to 2101. Exactly on the 1st of January. Anyway, I think that's enough for now. This is going to be a slightly shorter episode, I feel, but my timer turned off, so I'm going to have to fix that up. Tablet not being as useful as it is. And, ironically, the Soviet revolutionaries, very strong in the Okrugs in the north, the Nenets Autonomous Okrug being the main one here. And they are almost in Moscow. No, they are in Moscow. So... yeah, it looks like the Soviet Union is not going to be able to mobilize under Boris Desnev. I do apologize, don't quite know how to pronounce the Russian name there. And there's also Nikita Poyakov over here, who's occupied Kaliningrad. Anyway, until next time, guys, see you all later. We are in the 14th of January 2095, 6 years till we finish the game. And yeah, that will be the first series we ever finish on this channel. Wow, that's I would say a success, but the channel has been around for 5 years, I think, almost now. So, maybe an achievement that is a bit too late. But still, at least we're going somewhere with it. Anyway, goodbye.